Assalamualaikum and good day to Dr. Ali and my fellow friends. We are from Group 4 and here are our members. Aileen Sofia binti Azizi, Chaji, dan Naziha binti Ahmad Asri, Jonathan Tin Moy Yao, and Alana Amira binti Helmi.
We are going to talk about the challenges of empowering recycle among the community and how to address them. But first, let me talk about the word recycle. The prefix re means again, and the word cycle means a process of a loop. When the two combines, it means to restart the loop again. To better explain it, we can say that to reuse the materials. Next up, I will be talking about why we should recycle. As the population increases, the waste production would also go up. And when that happens, the landfills we normally dump our rubbish will reach its maximum capacity. Now, people would normally think to find another place to set up a new landfill, but they are forgetting one important thing. Those landfills would decompose and let out poisonous gas such as methane and carbon dioxide. These could harm the environment and create greenhouse effect if more landfills are being created. There are alternatives of managing waste products such as incineration, but it would produce more carbon dioxide, and there would be landfilling, not to be confused with landfill because one is noun and the other is a verb. But still, the government of Malaysia still promotes recycling. There are also some major problems when it comes to recycling. Here, my group mates will talk about those challenges and how we can solve it.
The first challenges that we face to empower recycling among the community is people are unable to distinguish items that can be recycled. Maybe for common items such as plastic, cans and bottles are easy to figure out for which bins they should put those items. But we have tons of items which their packaging are made from several materials such as plastic bag with a foil cover and a secure laminate covering. So to efficiently recycle or dispose those items, the user must classify each material used, including the plastic, properly remove each materials and then recycle by their types. This step could easily get people confused and they just decide to throw it into general waste bin even though the items are actually can be recycled. So the solution for first challenges is we must emphasize the importance of recycle among the community. The government should organize more recycle events so that people can learn more knowledge about recycle and able to practice it. Media stations also can advertise the campaign through posters, flyers or newspapers and teach people on how to recycle properly if they have items that actually can be recycled but they don't know how to. Children also should be taught from young age so that they will have habits to recycle and influence people around them such as their parents, peers to recycle. Lastly, the recycle bin should be color-coded and labeled so that people will not confuse about which waste can go where.
Another challenge that we face nowadays in empowering recycling among communities is lack of industry experts. Some of you might ask, why do we need industry experts in this field? What are their roles? We already have a lot of officers and ministers in the Ministry of Environment and Water here in our country. So why do we need to bother on having recycling experts? Now I'm going to tell you something. Those ministers and officers are not the experts in this recycling industry. We are unsure on how the government manage those huge number of recycled materials, and there is no experts monitors each recycling process to ensure every process runs smoothly without involving any contamination. Well, everyone has already known the benefits and importance of recycling, and we cannot deny the fact that there is a small group of communities out there has started to practice recycling for a long time. But A small effort from a small group cannot affect the whole country unless there is a first step from the government itself. For example, there are many individuals out there has uploaded videos or articles about recycling on the internet, but most of them are not from the government. So how this problem can be solved? More positions should be provided for recycling experts who can monitor every recycling process managed by the government. Not only that, based on the research, expert includes those who can come up with a needed knowledge on recycling activities. Many individuals act as influencers or bloggers works online through websites, blogs, or even social media to educate and encourage people to start recycling the recyclable materials either at home or at workplace. They even show us the correct way to reuse and recycle those recycled materials and turn it into something good and beneficial. Those kind of individuals are the experts that we need in this recycling industry to ensure all the recycling process handled by the government operating smoothly while preserving the environment without involving any contamination.
And now I'm going to present my idea for the poster, which is electronic waste that elevates by day. So as we know, the population in the world are growing very fast. So everyone needs electronic device such as handphone, computer, and so on. So the bad news is that we all know that our gadgets are easy to broke. So it means that actually the lifespan of the electronic devices are getting decreased. So the e-waste are very much produced by every country, especially the developed countries such as China, USA, Japan, and many else. So it is a serious problem that people does not very take point about it. So a solution that I suggest to solve the recycling problem is designing a waste management scheme. So the waste management scheme is actually to make the people or all people easier to know what should we do and what is actually recycling. The main point of the scheme is about when, where, and what. So when we gonna do the recycling, where we are going to throw the recycle things go to, which recycling can are we throwing to. So we will this all the things in the waste management scheme, and the people such as the designer of the scheme will also need to discuss with people such as the participants, which is the citizens and the government. So by doing that, I hope that the government can actually like having the feedback from the citizens all around the country, so they can always uh, look if like there is somewhere there are lack of recycle bins or place that we can throw things to recycle. So government should add the places before the people throw it to the normal trash bin. So it is such a waste because it can be recycled.
The next challenge is the lack of recycling facilities in the neighborhood. Most of the time, recycling facilities can only be seen in high-end neighborhood and in the middle of urban city. As example, in Malaysia is the middle of Kuala Lumpur and those classy neighborhood in Bangsa. We rarely see any recycle bins in suburban area, and if any, they are not managed properly. So why is the condition or the availability of recycling facilities important in empowering the recycling in community? This is because Not all people will be willing to buy 3 separate bins. Yeah, the recycle bins, blue for paper, chocolate for glass, and so on, just for the purpose to divide their rubbish accordingly. Other than that, when there is facilities provided, the community would have a sense of responsibility to recycle. For sure, people will not use it immediately after it was provided, as all things take time, but the rate of recycling activities will increase over the time. Just like how customer satisfaction is important in one business as it will affect the customer behavior. In this case, the customer satisfaction is towards the recycling facilities, and the customer behavior is the act of recycling. Thus, the higher the customer satisfaction, the better customer behavior will be. How we can overcome this challenge? Simple. Provide more recycling facilities in the neighborhood. Just like I said before, communities are willing to adopt the recycling practice in their life. However, the thought of having to purchase their own recycling bins, as example, make them hesitate to start recycling. Hence, recycling facilities should be provided in all communities, no matter where they are located and their income class, because all citizens pay the same amount of tax to the government. The least the local authorities can do is to provide the recycling bin for every 2 terrace house, like in the middle of 2 houses like that, and recycling center in the apartment area. Other than that, authorities must make sure that the recyclables should be recycled accordingly and not being thrown away at the landfill together with other waste. As example of organization that initiate some of the recycling facilities are Fix of Facility Inovasi Kitar Semula, which is a recycle education center in Putrajaya where people can sell their recyclable there. People can receive either cash or reward points for the items they send to Fix. Do you know that fabric waste should not be sent to landfills? Thus, organizations such as Lifeline Clothing Malaysia and Clothes Care provide designated bins for fabrics in many areas in Malaysia so that people can throw away their unwanted clothing there instead of the landfills.
Thank you to all of my groupmates for their sharing on the topic. In conclusion, not only the government plays an important role in the empowerment of recycling, but the people also need to react to the government's calling. Every entity needs to commit their time and effort in this recycling activity. Recycling not only reduces the consumption of raw materials, but it also saves over 30% of the energy in the production of new packaging or materials. If we recycle waste, not only we will obtain direct benefits, but also the indirect ones. That is, we will avoid the inconveniences caused by landfills and incinerators. Thank you, Dr. Ali, and stay safe.